What is going on, everyone? And in this video, I'll be giving you my UFC Vegas 39 main and co-main event prediction for the upcoming event taking place this Saturday, October 9th, 2021. For this card, it is probably on paper one of the least looking good cards in a while. Like, even worse than some where we all thought it wasn't really exciting on paper, but this is definitely on the lower end of that spectrum. So with that being said, we'll go ahead, jump right into it, get into the main event of the evening. And in the main event of the evening, we have Mackenzie Dern coming in with 11-1 record, a -170 favorite. 73% of people have picked her on ESPN Pick'em, taking on Marina Rodriguez, 14-1 to no contest, plus 150 underdog coming in here with 27% of the people picking her. And for this fight, Mackenzie Dern, I think, is obviously dangerous, and I think a lot of hype is around her too. I know a lot of people really like her, and there's like controversy with, like, her accent and all this stuff, her being in Brazil and all that stuff. But generally speaking, she's obviously a very good ground specialist. She's someone who you have to just be careful with, right? Because if you end up in an awkward position, she can definitely hit you with a submission. And you've seen her last fight against Nina Nunez. She won via submission, and she landed a couple good shots in that fight too. Her striking is not, I don't think it's used to get in there so you can grapple and tie up and get in some awkward positions for your opponent. And then next, Mackenzie Dern is the one landing some sort of submission, because you cannot deny that when she does transition and she gets on top or she moves to a new advantageous position, she's definitely doing her best. And you see that when she's grappling and looking for a submission. She defeated Randa Marcos by submission. She defeated Hannah Severs by submission, lost to Amanda Ribas. I wouldn't, if you see her fight against Ashley Yoder, she won via split decision. In my opinion, she hasn't fought someone who's really going in there to, that can really cause problems on the feet, because, and not only on the feet, but have good solid takedown defense. And in this fight, you have Marina Rodriguez, who I believe, when you look at her last fight, Marina Rodriguez, she's one hell of a Muay Thai striker, and I think she has great takedown defense, and I think she's going to have great time. I mean, she took on Michelle Waterson, who's a seasoned veteran in the game, right? And Marina Rodriguez, although she has MMA fights, granted it's not like she's fought, I guess you could say, like everyone in this division, I guess, but she lost to Carla Esparza, and she lost via split decision, and she lost that fight because obviously Carla Esparza with the takedowns and the grappling and the tying up. She had a draw with Cynthia Calvillo. She beat Tisha Torres, who's a very excellent striker. She beat Jessica Aguilar, not the best. She drawed with Randa Marcos. That gatekeeper fight, though, against Carla Esparza, I mean, yes, she did lose it, but man, like, it's not like she just got absolutely crushed, right? I think if she can defend takedowns from Dern and keep this fight standing, I just think you're going to see like another level of striking, because Marina Rodriguez's striking is just, I think, very great. Obviously, coming from the Muay Thai background, good volume. She needs to fight long. Obviously, she can't be just closing that distance. I think she needs to keep Mackenzie Dern on the outside, piece her up. And if she does get tangled in there, she needs to have good takedown defense, but she needs to be aggressive, man. If she hurts her on the feet, Marina Rodriguez needs to go in there and just try to take her out. Like, just light her up on the feet to where she's diving in for takedowns or diving in for the clinch. She's just trying to do something to take down. And she has to be careful, but I just don't see Marina Rodriguez walking into like this kind of sloppy shot from Mackenzie Dern and getting, maybe taken out. I just feel like Marina Rodriguez is going to try to fight this fight smart, try to have the high volume, and try to piece her up on the outside. And if she does get into the clinch, Marina Rodriguez, she might land some nasty clinch strikes, man. So she could definitely hurt her, and I think this is one of those fights where Dern's not going to want to keep this on the feet. She's going to want to tie in the clinch. She's going to want to try to grapple. She's going to want to, take her down fairly quickly. I just don't see Dern like staying in there and being like, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's throw down with someone who has a background in Muay Thai and a really good background, right? She definitely knows her. You can tell she has that stance. She just goes in there. She's aggressive. She's elbows. She's an aggressive person. I think she just does that. I like what we saw from her against Michelle Waterson, Marina Rodriguez. I thought she did fairly decent. I mean, she definitely hurt her a couple times. And she didn't get taken down constantly. She didn't get caught up in the submission. She didn't get caught up in getting thrown around the octagon. And she really stayed in that fight, stayed aggressive, had a high volume. And I think it was a really good fight for it, flyweight debut. So when she takes on Mackenzie Dern here, I just think she's gonna be able to piece her up. I know the hype is on Mackenzie Dern, and like I think probably people are kind of anticipating, Dern to kind of get a hold of her and take her down and all that. But I just think against you just hit a certain point though when you fight a striker where there's no more of just getting taken down lazily, especially with somebody who has good takedown defense. If Rodriguez can defend a couple takedowns and really keep the fight standing and be aggressive and piece her up, I just think you're going to see that over the course of 5 rounds here. Now, whether or not she's able to get a finish, I mean, we'll have to see. Women's MMA, unless there's like a big, gap in skill, maybe it's not necessarily a finish. So I would say probably Marina Rodriguez in this one. And I think as the fight goes on, if she can get it there, which if she doesn't, then, obviously Dern's probably going to take her down and hit her with submission. She just can't get tied up in those weird exchanges. She has to hurt her fairly early and hope that Dern gets hurt enough to where, like, she's just diving in for stuff and looks really sloppy. So I think Marina Rodriguez, man, like, she's a really good striker, very clean. That Muay Thai stance, she has clean elbows. I think she hurt her pretty much anywhere. The concern would obviously be if she gets taken down. But that being said, I think she obviously tries to keep this fight from a distance and just start lighting her up. And I don't think it's going to take too long. So now, like I said, though, if she gets a finish, we'll have to see. I'm not too keen on that because at the same time, if Rodriguez does hurt her, and then, sometimes the fight IQ goes out the window when you hurt someone, and next thing you know, you're trying to take them down, or it's just weird stuff like that, or they clinch with you, and then they take you down, and the next thing you know, they're like about to die, and then they're on top of you hitting the submission, so hitting an armbar or something like that. So for Marina Rodriguez, I'll take her to win. I think as the fight goes on, if she's able to keep piecing her up, kind of wear out basically, and just show like I have such a high volume, maybe Dern survives, she hangs in there, and we see kind of a decision. But yeah, I'm gonna go Marina Rodriguez on this one. I think the longer the fight gets, the more she's gonna pull away. So I'll go Marina Rodriguez to defeat Mackenzie Dern by a decision. And then we have in the co-main event of the evening, Randy Brown coming in with a 13-4 record, a -240 favorite. 72% of the people on UFC Pick'em have picked him, taking on Jared Gooden, who's coming in here with an 18-6 record with a +200 underdog tag tied to him, and 28% of the people have picked Jared Gooden. Now for this fight, I think Jared Gooden, he's good, right? No, he obviously has big power. He's one of those guys though where if you can survive some initial onslaught and you can kind of just not get taken down. And this dude's swinging for the chin, though. He definitely has a solid chin himself. He's hard to get taken down, not taken down, but he's hard to necessarily knock out, right? You really have to go out there and kill him. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Gooden is able to hurt Randy Brown early on, because Gooden also has, 83% takedown defense. Now, granted, he hasn't fought like everyone in the UFC, so those numbers might not necessarily tell the full story of his 3 fights. He fought Alan Jouban, he fought Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov, and then he won by KO in his last fight. So not too much numbers from there, but he's going to have good takedown defense, and he might go for his own takedowns. The only issue with him going for takedowns, though, I think Randy Brown's going to try to fight long. He's obviously not going to, I don't think he's going to go in there and be like, let's swing down, let's throw down Jared Gooden and let's just try to go for the I don't think you're going to see that from Randy Brown. And if he does that, the fight's over because Gooden cracks him. And Randy Brown needs to fight long. He needs to tire this guy out. He needs to check leg kicks. He can't be hit as well, right? So he's probably going to be slamming in leg kicks. And if he mixes up a lot of jabbing, a lot of feints, and he's able to kind of just piece up Gooden and slam in leg kicks and kind of just take all that power from his lead leg, and Gooden's not really able to throw a lot of power eventually, and then you see him slow down. I just think Randy Brown's going to take over the fight, whether that's on the feet or he grapples with him, beats him up, takes him down, beats him up. I think Randy Brown can win this fight. I think Randy Brown is probably going to be the better fighter here overall, but that being said, it's a fight. Jared Gooden, early on, he's going to give him everything he's got. He's going to try to close the distance. He might even try taking him down. Who knows what's going to happen with that. But I just think Randy Brown, as far as technically, I think he can probably try to piece him up over the course of 3 rounds. And again, I don't really see Randy Brown winning by a knockout. Could he go for a submission? Maybe he could take him down and go for some sort of submission and work Gooden. if Gooden's tired, but I think if Gooden's not tired, it's going to be kind of hard to do all that. So I'm more inclined to go for a decision here. And obviously for Gooden, if he wins, I'm more inclined to get a KO early on, land something that he's really going to have to throw Randy Brown off his game. And I think, he's obviously going to attempt to do that. And it's in the UFC Apex, so obviously you never know. But I think Randy Brown's going to try to fight smart. He's going to go for the cab. He's going to have more of an attack, right? He's going to go for the legs. He's going to go to the body. He can possibly work something in the clinch. He can try to tire him. He's going to do a lot. I think he's going to do a combination of things versus Gooden. Gooden's going to come out here and just try to go for the fences. He's going to try to close the distance. He's going to try to land bombs. He's going to get hit to land some hits. So I'm not really too like keen on that kind of thing, especially if it's not like and granted though, Randy Brown could get knocked out, but I just I don't know. Against Alex Oliveira, he won via submission, and Oliveira is sometimes submitting people. He obviously lost against Vicente Luque, but Luque is kind of nasty. He's like not just swinging for the fences. He's definitely a well-rounded striker. He's not just landing one shot, and he has a chin too. And Luque, he's nasty, man. He defeated Warley Alves by submission triangle choke. He defeated Brian Barberena. He lost to Nico Price. But I think Randy Brown is getting better each fight, right? And he's definitely been in the UFC long enough to have his experience in there. He's fought Bilal Muhammad. He lost via decision in that fight, but he's fought good guys, right? Vicente Luque, top level competition right there. So him losing to him and then coming back and beating Alex Oliveira shows that he's not falling that too far off of the totem pole. He's obviously trying to stay there, and he's very capable because of how long he is to hit submissions. And I think he's just getting better, man. I think he's going to be the more well-rounded fighter. So with that being said, you got to watch out for people like Gooden, though. Very tough, but once they start slowing down, it gets really sloppy. And if Brown can stay not sloppy and you see Gooden slowing down, maybe he pulls off a submission here and there somewhere, or he tries to, who knows what he tries to do, take him down, ground and pound. But I think Randy Brown's just going to go have more attacks, avoid, the early onslaught, the power, and you just kind of piece him up for the course of 3 rounds. So I'm going to go Randy Brown on this one. I think, again, just like Marino Rodriguez, the more the fight goes on, the more chance Randy Brown has of winning. And the longer the fight goes on, Jaron Gooden, his chance is going to slip away. So we'll have to see what happens. It could be exciting. Maybe these are the 2 of the craziest fights we've seen in a while. I hardly doubt that. But either way, thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments down below. Tell me who you're picking. If you leave your comments down below and you pick someone, I'll feature you on the next video in the very beginning of the video. Hit the like button if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. And I'll see you guys in the next video.